Yo, we here. Yo, yeah, yeah. Welcome. You welcome. Yeah, we here. I don't know if I have any fire shit to say. Yo, yesterday was my lady birthday, so shout out to her. Nothing but love in the house, in the household. We did it small, did it private, wasn't nothing crazy going on. We'll celebrate a little bit more coming forward. Yeah, so that was that. Remember, you don't have any competition. All right, your competition is always you. Be better than you were yesterday, and watch how much you excel. You feel me? Even in the sports world, as I try to add my brother to the show, especially in the sports world, my message is always compete with yesterday. Your yesterday you. Compete with your you from yesterday, and you'll grow, and you'll watch. Just watch how it changes you.
Brother, my brother.
My
I
brother, my
like that. I like that. I like that. I mean, I don't agree pretty
you,
much at all, but
you
yeah,
don't
go
agree?
ahead.
There's no competition.
Yeah, no. There's
Okay.
obviously we live in a capitalistic society. I got news for you. There's competition.
Yeah, but be
There's
better
competition.
than you were yesterday, and watch how much you excel in that
Yeah,
world, in that field.
that's fine. But if I am on fries and then I work myself off and now I get on burger assemblance, I mean, how much have I really grown, right? I think that trope and that myth is
It
something that the rich
it
have
depends.
continued.
It depends on is there a pay raise? Because then if it's not,
It
maybe you
doesn't.
was
It doesn't
trash.
matter.
Maybe you was trash at the fries,
Okay,
but you
so
became
12
better.
to let's
But
just let's say
wait,
12 to $15 then. 12 to
wait, wait,
$15.
wait, wait. I mean, come on, don't be a dickhead about this.
All right, I don't want to
Because
be
I
a
just said
dickhead.
some
I'm sorry.
real shit. But
You
yeah,
did. I agree, but I mean, I think this podcast is known for. Yeah,
you
I
being
don't
a
want to get.
dickhead.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a
Oh,
little
okay.
bit,
I was just
but
wondering. I was just
I want
wondering.
to. I want to make sure that people understand that sometimes hard work is not enough, and that's the new. That's a new concept. That's a new theory that maybe you can work super hard, which let's just cut the bullshit. A lot of Americans do work
Yeah,
super hard.
I be at work every day.
And you know what? Some of us ain't gonna make it.
Some of us, everybody not meant to go
Well, there you go.
though.
Well, then that's the bigger question. Thank you. That's the question.
Everybody meant to go.
That's the question we got to answer. And for those of us who are not meant to go, what do the powers that be, what does the governing bodies who you pay your taxes to, what are they doing to supplement that level of competition that we all know everyone can't go against?
Hmm.
What are they
Can we
doing?
start the show first? Can we intro
Go
the
ahead.
show? You don't want to
Go
intro?
ahead. I'm sorry.
You don't. You don't. I mean, go ahead. You was
No,
going on. Go off,
no,
nigga.
no, no. Go ahead. Go
Before you
ahead.
get
Intro the
into
show.
the
Because that's
show.
not even a topic. That's
That's
really
not a topic. That's
not
not a
even a topic.
topic.
Go
But
ahead.
yo. Welcome to the All Done
Hey,
Podcast.
come.
I am DJ Shakes Up. Chosen one. That's my brother Tracy. Tracy, what's
Yeah,
good?
where the theatrics at? Where the
I ain't got them on today. I ain't turn them on. They close.
oh, we
They
don't
not
got the theatrics today.
they not
Good. I got you.
far.
I got you. DJ J Shakes the
They not
Tracy. I got you.
far. I just ain't got them on today.
Okay.
I just
Okay.
I ain't want to be the guy that I got this and you
Now
don't, and then
you feeling
we
humble
brother.
today. You feeling humble today. It's
I'm
cool.
I'm feeling humble every day. What's up? What's up?
That,
What's up?
that's ridiculous. You're never humble.
I'm
You're the
always
most.
humble.
You're not humble at all.
Did you ever look up the definition of the word humble?
Um,
Yeah, I'm humble
I
for
don't
real.
think I did, but a guy.
But to sum it up, now being humble pretty much means I have everything I can flex on you, but I don't. My
Okay.
my
Okay.
success in certain areas and not just you. I'm not saying you
No,
personally. I'm not
no,
even
no, go
speaking
ahead.
about me
Go
personally,
ahead.
but
I got you. Go ahead.
if someone has the facilities to, really bring it to somebody and they don't, that's a little
This
that's a
is
little
also
BS.
now tell the truth to the ADP family. This is a gentleman who, when we were growing up, his middle name is a certain thing, and we at one point he took on a caricature of his middle name, and it was whenever he got a haircut or when he put them three all white threes on. There were several times
Sure,
when we seen this cat.
monies. Yeah, they need to redrop
I'm not
those
gonna
up.
put all your
I
business
ain't
out there, but let's
Hey,
not.
I've always been Shakes.
So
I've
that the
always
D
been
the
Shakes.
I'm gonna call him the D. The D never existed. He never. That's not a thing.
I mean, he do, but like I said, that's reserved for a very special person now.
Oh,
I got a
okay.
question for
Listen,
you
bro.
because I
We
really
all
asked
got names.
earlier.
We all
I
got
got a
characters.
question
Go
for
ahead.
you,
Go
and
ahead.
I really because you want to talk about your characters?
I'm not.
Who
I didn't say I was humble.
who wears a
You're here to
cape
talk
and
about.
flies around at night? Oh, we don't want to talk
I'm
about that.
saving the
Fucking
world,
mass
brother.
fucking villain.
No, I'm not a villain. I'm a vigilante, and I'm saving the world. So I need you to put some
Okay,
respect on that.
what you saving the world from?
You want to get into this right now? What that character is saving the world from?
Nah, I don't.
I'm about to say, because now we talking over the people's head. That's something that we haven't divulged yet on
Uh,
this
we touched on it
program.
once or twice.
No, we never really
Hey,
got into that.
I asked a question in the Belgrade in the group earlier with the brothers, and you didn't answer.
I mean,
You feel if
um,
you feel like it came down to it, can you still can you squabble? Can you
ooh,
throw one or two?
could like if I was being robbed or something?
Like if I don't know, yeah, when you was out somebody decided to swing on you, can you think you could you think
I,
got a little 1-2 in you?
I could defend myself if I need to defend myself. That's an interesting question to pose to elderly gentlemen like ourselves. I will say that I don't condone violence at all.
No,
Neither does
I'm
that.
not.
Neither does the ADP
We
in
don't
any
condone
way, shape,
violence.
or form condone violence. But if someone was to push the button and want to take it there, we could take it there. What my man Vince Vaughn say? I'm a gentleman, but if you want to get into some gangster shit, we can get into some gangster
I was
shit.
just
Like
asking, can you if it came down to it, you think you could squabble a little bit?
I think I could, but why is that a question of a man of our stature? Like
I mean, I was just
I
asking,
would hope.
with the Joe Button situation recently. Shout out
Oh
to
yeah,
Joe Buttons and
yeah.
the Joe Button
Oh,
podcast.
big shout out.
And I don't want to get into full details about that situation, but I was just asking if it came down to it, do you feel like you could square dance with somebody?
I mean, if you're gonna stand toe to toe with me, you better be ready to take it to the furthest extent. Is what I would say.
Okay, bring your lunch pail and flashlight on.
Yeah, because I'm not a person like a lot of these people out here, and I'll say this about the way generations have changed. A lot of generations now, cats are talking like they are this or they are that or they gangster or they whatever. But Mike Tyson said it very famously. Everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth.
Yeah,
So a lot
no.
of y'all ain't never been punched in the mouth. I've been jumped. I've been beat up. So it's
You
kind of
got jumped.
like
Where was I at when you got jumped?
I know what it's like to take an ass whooping real quick or get stomped real quick and then cats run off or
Where
whatever.
was I
Like
at when you got jumped?
this
Oh,
was
this might have been your UC days, huh?
Yeah,
That nigga.
that was once, but no, once it happened in high school too. I think my senior year, we was at some party
Nah, you
and
ain't
I
get
don't,
jumped at no party yesterday. Get the fuck out of here.
I got I jumped at a party my senior, and it was a
Ain't no
light
way.
jump. It was a light jump. Everybody was gone. Remember, I was the youngest, so when I was a senior, I mean, I was rolling with my real brothers, and I respect and love them to this day. But sometimes you get
Damn, you got
caught in a little
jumped.
thing. And it wasn't even like a hard. I don't want to say like cat stomped me out, like, and I was knocked out with my shirt over my
But
head.
you got
But
you got
cat's fit got down on me for a quick second before I threw a right, threw a left, ducked the
got up out
guy's
that
head.
jam.
Yeah, got about that jam. And
I'm
it can
just like
happen to anybody. Let's not be foolish. It can happen to anybody.
in
So
fact, I
for
think
all you tough guys out there, you can get got. Don't be walking around here like you can't get touched. We can
no,
all
and
get
that's
touched.
a fact.
You can get touched.
Um, and in the Joe Button situation, he ended up, he talked about it on his show, so check it out. And not that he needs my plug, but
Now, shout
and
out to him.
with like they pretty much were saying like Joe, you got to move different, and he received the message well, and that's a fact. Like when you get to a certain level, you got to
That's
just move
bullshit. That's
different, bro.
bullshit out there. That's bullshit though.
As far
You
as
agree
I
with that?
go,
You agree
that
with
you got to
that?
move different. If you
Yeah.
if you give off a certain energy, you got to watch the way you move. Yeah,
I mean, it's like Charlemagne when them cats socked
but
him up in front of the joint
you
he ran or whatever.
yeah, I mean, you
But
give
my
off a
point
certain
is
energy. You got
not
just
so
you got to be prepared for that. Sometimes it's going to be retaliation.
in mental health, and for those of you who are in
Oh
therapy, I
shit.
had a therapist one time tell me that don't blame the victim. And so when you start to talk about Joe need to move different or Charlemagne need to move
I don't look
different,
at him as a victim in this situation, but I get what you're saying.
okay, yeah. So I mean, don't come on now, don't
So I'm
nitpick me.
not blaming him for it happening because that was somebody who was, on all accounts, I got was clout
Yeah,
chasing,
okay. So
and that's what you talked about.
Dusty Cats,
They
Dusty
gonna do
Cats
dusty
gonna be a
shit.
Dusty gonna be Dusty. So it's like if you
Facts.
Dusty, you Dusty, bro. It's fine.
No,
You're
I
gonna
feel
do
you on that.
Dusty shit.
Yeah, I feel you, but I'm just, once you get to a certain stature and level, just,
I mean,
people
that's
Dusty's gonna be
fine.
Dusty. Just move
Okay,
different.
that's fine. But then I have to say that because no one's holding the Dusty MFers responsible or accountable.
I
Nobody's
think
being like, yo, stop doing Dusty shit.
no, that's a fact. I think to a certain level, it's not addressed because it will be addressed in a different manner. So rather than put the energy out there, it's gonna be handled.
Okay, well,
It's
that's
definitely
that's
gonna
that's a
be
point.
handled.
That's a point.
I also as far as I go, can I squabble? Younger actually wasn't the squabbler. Like I wasn't like it wasn't
Yeah, I
let me go
know.
get shakes in.
It was
We gonna
bats.
get down.
It was bats and
I
cleats.
I was oh shit.
It was bats and cleats on concrete.
Oh shit.
It was bats
So
and cleats on concrete.
I wasn't the squabbler. I got my brother's back.
Yeah,
And
man, and
yeah,
that's
that's a fact. But
yeah.
as far as the question to can I hold my own? The answer is yes. I'm a little bit more I'm a little more recent than my brothers. I asked the question, but that's because the security job I had to
Yeah,
do
you
my
got to
P's
put
and
hands on
Q's.
people. Sometimes you do. You got to
Yeah,
put
like
hands on people.
so I'm a little bit more recent now. Would I be sore the next day? Probably. It's a lot. It's a
But
lot
I
going
mean,
on. I
yo,
was
they
one of them. You could
drunk,
just
right? They drunk. You're not. This is not some Rambo mission in the jungle. You got drunk motherfuckers doing crazy stuff,
yeah,
and
doing
you
drunk
gotta.
stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, I handled it a few times. A few times I
that's
haven't
it.
handled it. One time I struggled. One
How you
time I
struggle?
struggled.
What's the struggle story? Give us the
This is the
struggle story.
struggle story. And we were supposed to start a whole little quick video thing about security diaries.
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but people always came and got me and one of my other boys who was security. Well, mind you, it was other guards. They always came and got us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we need you outside. So I go outside to see the vibes. And somehow my smaller guard was able to get the dude from where he was. Shout out to him.
Mm-hmm.
But the dude jacked up, big muscle dude. So now he go to run back in and I grab him. And I realized, oh, he's kind of strong, this brother. And
He
he's
lifts weight. His brother lifts weights.
yeah, like this like and not only so now he's drunk.
Mm.
He's already strong and then he's drunk on top of that. So
Mm.
he grabbed something and was trying to pull himself forward. But now I'm holding him, so it was like, bro, like what's going on? And granted, some of it was me being lazy because I didn't want to take him to the ground. That's a whole different squabble situation.
Yeah.
Because and he's yelling, ah.
In a
I
fight,
served three.
everything is love, though. Like I want to say that too, because cats think
So
that you can't get kicked or you can't get roundhouse. Listen, in a fight,
and
listen, man,
exactly.
you better be
I
careful.
served 3 tours for my country. Like
Oh,
going
he's going
crazy. I'm like,
crazy.
oh. Yeah, he's on the bullshit heavy, and I'm
No,
just
I
like,
get it.
yo.
I get it.
And somehow I was able to snatch him off what he was holding. Toss him out the thing. We got him in the street. Then somehow he came back in the club, and we escorted him out.
Y'all are
And he
doing
turned
poor
around.
security. How you get back in the club?
So the initial altercation was between two workers, and the dude that was doing all that was one of the workers.
Okay, I
So the
see.
other worker had to come back in and get his stuff, and he came in with him.
I got
Which
you.
I don't know how they let him
Yeah,
back in, but that's neither here nor
yeah,
there. So
it's still
we
crazy.
react to put
Whatever.
him out,
Uh-huh.
and he turns around and goes to push a coworker. And now at this point, me and my other boy there, so now it's like whatever. Grab him, we threw him through a metal detector, got him outside. Yeah, so you're doing poor security. Nah, I wasn't. I mean, not me. I did my job, but
I mean,
after it, at the time, I'm not like. But after, I was like, yo, he was strong. One way he grabbed my shirt, and I'm like, yo, let
you
me
felt
go.
this. You felt this. You felt this power. You felt this
Yeah, I
power.
mean, he let me know. I mean,
All right.
one
Well.
wrong move. I mean, his power in his arms didn't match the power on my hip. Take it how you want it.
Well, let's just hope that you don't. Obviously, you're not in that life presently, and just
Nah,
hope
I've
you don't
been
have to go
called
back
for a
to
few
that.
events, and I'm like, I'm not there no more, bro. That's not my
Yeah,
life.
my boy's changing and growing. But yeah, shout outs. We gotta come on.
Yeah,
We
shout
gotta move the
out,
show.
shout out, shout out, shout out, shout out, shout out. Who you got? Who you got?
Yo, shout out to my brother Nas, man. And I don't think
Facts.
Nas gets enough shout outs.
Mm-hmm.
But he's just always doing cool things. Like Nas is just the epitome of cool. So the headline is Nas launches paid in full foundation to offer financial support and healthcare to hip hop pioneers.
That's a
And
fact.
so you hear a lot of people talk about, damn man, hip hop just is starting to get money in the late 90s, right? So you got
Yep.
a lot of people who are elders right now who didn't necessarily make the money that they were supposed to make for creating such a dope ass genre that raised us all. And look at Nas just continuing to give back to the
Yeah.
culture and to our community. And I mean, he's just a solid individual. So shout out Nas and all he continues to do for the culture.
And that opens up a broader question because, like, you don't know what the insurance situation is or the medical insurance situation is for people like that.
It probably wasn't any though.
Artists.
It probably
I,
wasn't any. There
but
was probably none.
even
Yeah,
now, like artists and stuff like that, we know they make money by whatever their work or whatever.
whatever.
But what is their medical insurance situation like? Are they paying out of pocket? Are they covered under the label? Do the label provide medical insurance? Did your shit just swivel, bro?
Agree. What?
Did your camera just swivel a
Come
little
on,
bit?
just moves a little bit. I just wanted to,
Oh, you got one of the good
I,
tripods. Don't joint that follow you. You got one
come
of
on.
them.
It's just
Okay,
trying to move
I
with me.
got you,
It's trying
bro.
to. I
I
gotta
get you.
stay still. That's all it is. I gotta stay
Okay,
still.
I didn't know you
Yeah.
had one of
You
them.
gotta stop. You gotta stop. Go ahead.
You see, we need to go into like contract negotiations because you be having all the good stuff.
Are we still doing shout outs or
Yeah,
are we
we still
not
doing.
still
Shout out
doing
to
shout
you, bro.
outs?
We still doing shout out. Shout out to the sister who just became president of Xbox.
I thought that was
Her
dope.
name, I had her name, and I was Sarah Bond, the former corporate president with Microsoft,
Wow.
has made history by coming up president of Xbox. Or yeah. First black woman? Yeah, first time a black woman
First
became
black
president of
woman.
Xbox. That shit fire, bro.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to some new games and stuff like that. So, shout out to her. I don't know if that makes the difference but yeah. Um,
It's gonna get weird now.
you think?
Yeah. So I'm gonna say shout out to Donald Trump
Why do you think? Wait, why do you think it's gonna get weird?
because I
We'll get to
I just I just said what I said. I said shout out to Donald Trump.
Okay.
And so I would like to explain why I'm shouting out Donald Trump because there's not a funnier character on these internets. Donald Trump is hands, and I don't know how many people follow him because of his obvious racist demeanor,
Right.
but when you separate who he is as a person and what that means to our society, again, this is
Mm-hmm.
dark humor stuff.
Facts.
He's the ultimate troll and he's hilarious. The way he chooses to
Yeah.
campaign and
His
and and
movements,
dem-
his mannerisms, everything's just funny about
and
the guy.
demean his opposition is just like the fact that
He's
that
a high
guy was
schooler. He's really a high schooler.
oh,
Like, yo, it don't matter what you talking about. You can give me all the facts, but I'm gonna make fun of your shoes or some shit.
he's trolling everybody. And so for people that have our sense of humor, you can find humor in Donald Trump. I think the problem that a lot of people are going to have is somehow, some way, there's a very large percentage of people because I'm not this person that blames Donald Trump for being who he is. The fact of the matter is, you have a very large percentage of people in this country that feel like that guy's a good leader, and so that's where
That's
the
scary.
that's where the problem's going to come into play. And so
That's scary.
while it's sad, you got to find the humor in it, and there's not a more humorous politician and person that has led our country and still has an entire influence, a very huge influence. There's never been nothing funnier. So shout out to Donald Trump for, if nothing else, the laughs, bro.
The last. Shout out to the two brothers that got caught stealing like $1,100 worth of oxtails. You was probably trying to do a service for the hood, or Robin Hood type energy, because oxtail prices are up there, bro.
It's not that
And
point. No, they're not. What are we talking about? A few hundred bucks at the
they was
most.
trying. What you mean? No, they not. Do you see? You don't be cooking like I be cooking.
Few
So you don't.
$100 at the most,
How
bro.
much?
Few $100.
What's a few $100?
Oxtails.
That's a lot. That's not a
Again,
lot.
that's not. I mean, oxtails is kind of a delicacy, especially in our culture. Like
Yeah,
people
that's
love them.
what I'm saying.
You know what I'm
Like you
saying?
acting like it's not a lot. That's a lot of money. Like yo, a pack of like 4 oxtails is gonna be like $70.
To go to jail for?
I mean, it's a misdemeanor.
It's it okay, whatever. I mean, I'm not sure what they're gonna
I
pile
mean,
onto those brothers.
sometimes doing the right thing ain't doing the right thing. You feel
I'm
me?
not gonna
So,
lie to you, stealing oxtails is not the right thing.
nah, it's the right thing because it's Robin Hood. Robin
Is
Hood was
that
given to the
is
poor.
that what you think was going on with that?
If you found a lick on some oxtails, you wasn't gonna get them.
I'm not. That wasn't a lick on some oxtails. That was just thievery. That wasn't like, yo, I
They
got
was gonna
the.
sell them to people in the
Yeah,
hood.
but
I ain't
that's
gonna
not
hold
the
you. One time
point.
I
That's
shot a lick on some steaks, whatever. Neither
yeah. I'm
here.
about to
No,
say it's
yeah,
going
no,
left. It's
don't
going
incriminate
left.
me,
It's
bro.
going left. It's going left. The point is, no, bro. That's not a lick. This is just, and I hate to say it, this is our people doing dumb shit. And if I'm not mistaken, the brother had like an ankle monitor on, so that
Oh yeah, that was the dumb
you're
part of it
committing
all
these
right there.
crimes, and you got an ankle
Just
monitor. Like
okay.
we.
And listen.
I mean, what
Hey,
would you
listen.
sacrifice?
If
Go ahead and tell us then. Tell us.
anybody around the way, if y'all come aboard some T-bones and stuff like
Oh, you're
that,
wildin'.
just shoot the
You're wildin'.
podcast a DM.
You're
Just
wildin'.
shoot the podcast a DM. I'm gonna
Bro,
try to
even
steer you in the right
if
direction.
fine, no, fine. Even if they're going to shoot the DM, that's fine. There are people who get wholesale products, and for my conscience, if I ever bought wholesale meat off the out the hood, that was always my justification. It's like, yo, maybe they found a wholesaler that was trying to get in
Okay, all
bulk, and
I'm
they
saying is,
they caught a
if
good
somebody
price.
come up on a plug on some T-bones, don't worry
Okay,
about
but
them.
that's not the same
Holla
as
at
trying
your
to go
boy.
into a grocery store and stealing.
I'm not. Listen. All I said what I said.
Okay,
That's all I'm saying.
okay.
If you come up, that's it. Hey, you said they wrong. I said shout out to the brothers for being Robin Hood. Agree to
It's not
disagree.
Robin Hood. It's not Robin
Okay.
Hood. Robin Hood is running up into the Federal Reserve. You know what? You're right. It's not. That's not the oxtails are not. It's
It's
not.
a start.
You're gonna. No, it's
It's
not.
a start, bro.
You're
Come
gonna
on,
have a
man.
fire. You can have. You could contribute to a fire Thanksgiving, man. But that's not Robin Hood, and that's not. When we talk about being on code, let's just be clear. Let's be.
That's not what we talking about
That
for
is
real.
not on
We talking
code. We're
about
not talking about
being
stealing
on code
oxtails to get back to
within
the
the
hood.
constraints of the law, or it has to. How do I want to word
The juice
this?
got to be worth the squeeze, as my man would say in The Girl Next Door.
Okay.
The
Okay.
juice got to be worth
You
the
good on shout outs,
squeeze.
bro? You got any shout outs for anybody?
Oh no,
You
that's it. That's it. I did
missed the
have a
shout
I did
out.
have a topic. I wanted to start with a
You missed the
topic.
shout out.
Okay, you're right. I did miss one, and I apologize. And let me say intimately to this camera and to this microphone. Shout out to Coco Jones. You posted something the other day, and you looked phenomenal, babe. You really did look phenomenal. And in case your team and the people that are photographing you aren't telling you, the ADP is here to tell you, babe. You look great. And I hope you
No.
can. I wish you nothing but continued
Tracy's here to
success.
tell you. Don't put that on the shoulders of the
Oh
ADP.
my
Tracy's here to
God.
tell you that. That's a
Okay,
personal
cool,
thing.
cool. Whatever. I'm just saying,
Granted, I'm not
Coco.
knocking the way you look. I think you're a beautiful black
Whew,
queen, and I'm not knocking
Lord,
that. But
Lord,
Tracy
Lord.
trying to tell you
Okay, let me
he,
finish
he loves you.
my. Let me
Go
finish
ahead.
my. Coco, you looked amazing. I think it was a post maybe 3, 4, 5 days ago, whatever it was. But I seen it and instantly I thought, like, damn, what a strong, intelligent, independent black woman, just putting on as a role model for the young girls out here. So shout out to you, Coco, and continue to inspire us all with your veracity and your
Any
determination
man
and
I
motivation. I
ever
appreciate
met, something about the way
Yo, she looked good.
you
What you want me to say?
feel.
Okay, we gotta show her love. You was on me. No, because You're on me a couple weeks ago when we talking about
I was just
Black
making
Girl
sure you got
Magic.
your shout it off.
All
Shout it
right.
off.
I mean, it's always a shout out to
Okay,
Coco, and she
I
knows
was
that,
just
and I
checking.
hope she knows my heart. So come on.
Okay, I'm sure she does. So what you say? You said you had something interesting you wanted to bring up. What you
Yeah,
got?
I did. I had a topic. I don't know if we ever chopped it up about Halloween was a couple weeks ago, and so
Yep.
there was something that
Classic.
surfaced on the internet with a little black boy who was in a dress, frozen dress, and I guess he was adopted, and his parents had said he picked out this dress and this is what he wanted to be. Are you familiar with what I'm talking
No,
about?
no, we didn't talk about this.
How are you not familiar with this story?
I am not.
All right, well, check your joint right now. I'm gonna
No,
send it again. So
no,
there's
no,
this
no, no.
there's a
Just tell
little
me.
there's a little boy. He's in a dress and he's adopted by these parents. A little
Hmm.
black boy, and a little black boy went on Halloween as Elsa. And he's wearing a dress,
Okay.
and people were upset and people were saying, as a kid, let a kid be a kid. Where's your Your thoughts on Halloween? A little black boy chose to be Elsa. He put on a dress. Where's your thoughts?
I'm from a time where
Excuse me.
men were men and we called gals gals and no, hey, listen,
Talking about Oki.
I'm talking about Oki, yeah, no, listen, I don't know how to feel about that.
Really?
I think it's, I mean, because like you said, they said he picked out the dress,
That's what they said.
and yeah, he picked out the dress. I mean, me personally, am I gonna let my child go and pick out a dress and say he wants to be fucking
Elsa.
Maribeth or something like that? No,
Elsa. He was Elsa.
he was Elsa, but I like other shit too. So, but no, I don't knock the the letter community or whatever, but yeah, I don't know because people say you're wrong when you say, oh no, like my little boy is gonna be a little boy,
Why do
and I.
they say that? Why do you think that is? Why is it now in 2023 where we've gotten to a point where if I have a boy, I say I don't want to wear, I want him to dress. I want him to be a little boy. And if I have a little girl, I can't say I want her to be a little girl. Why is that? How have we come to a point where
Because
now,
people
like
don't
you just
mind their
mentioned,
fucking
it's
business.
offensive
How,
now if
how,
you say that.
how, because mind your fucking business. How I raise my child is how I raise my child. As long as I'm not abusing them in any way, shape, or form. Like,
Some
no,
people
my son's
have
not going
said
to.
that was abuse. Some people said
When,
that little boy.
yeah,
The
no.
comments I'm looking at right now
Well, there's some
are saying
kids
that
that
little
want
boy
to
did
fucking put wings on and be fairies all day long, but you can't let them.
it.
This is not Halloween.
Well, this was Halloween, right?
It
Halloween was a
was
couple weeks
Halloween,
ago.
but
This
I'm
was Halloween.
saying. I want to wear, no. And I don't get why. Honestly, and I would love to explain and say, oh, this is why it's like this. I don't know why. I don't get it.
Mm.
Everybody, and here's where I'm at in my life with a lot of things.
Talk about it.
I can't be worried about offending people who don't care if they offend me. And
That's
that
deep.
happens
That's
a
deep.
lot. So when it comes
Mm.
to, and not all, because I know plenty of people who are part of that community, and I have zero issues with it. I've done the stuff. I've danced the dance, but there's some in just like every other community. There's some who does and says deplorable things,
Mm-hmm.
and then they want to cry. Oh well, it's hate speech when I defend myself.
Mm-hmm.
So and I don't, how do I want to word this? Yeah, so now
Mm.
how I raise my child is how I raise my child. Now, when my child is old enough to make that decision, I'll applaud him. Like, yo,
So you
like,
say that's for everybody. Everybody. So these people that adopted this black boy, that's how they're choosing to raise him. They let him pick his own
what was the
thing.
ethnicity of the people that adopted him?
From what I understand, they were white, and he's a little black boy.
I mean,
Why does that matter, Gatewood? Why does that matter? That matters? You think that matters?
because all right, so in warfare, right?
Okay.
The, the first step to winning a war is getting rid of the masculine side of your
Mm.
enemy.
Go ahead, talk about it.
We want to get away the side that's strong and put up the fight.
I think they call it the warrior class.
The warrior class, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, that's a step to getting rid of a warrior class of a group of people who's look to be getting tired of certain things
Mm.
and ready to stand up and put up a fight.
Mm-hmm.
So, damn, you threw me off with that story. But nah, as far as me, like I said, once he becomes of age and then he wants to do that, all right, son, I support you.
So as a child in your household, he can't be Elsa. A young boy in your household can't be Elsa.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna do that. There's definitely a difference between being a little boy and a little girl.
Okay.
Call it a double standard if you want or not, but it's science. It's science. I don't knock people once they get to of age. See, when you're of age, you pretty much do what you want.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Yeah, you
And
pay
I'm
your
not
own
even one of
bills.
those people like, oh, if my child is this way, you can't bring him to my house. No, pull up. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
have drinks. We gonna have a good time.
There's
But
love.
yet and still, huh? Yet and
I said there's
still, as
love.
a child, you can't if it goes up to my kids, they'll eat fucking candy every day. I
Mm.
have to say no.
Yeah, it's a
Like,
point.
no, that's not a good idea right now.
Mm.
If for nothing else to protect my child.
No
So me
doubt.
saying no to that dress as a little boy, that might protect my child from being subjected to certain things as he goes out into the world.
Mm. I agree.
So what's your thoughts on it?
I am of the same mind of I like to mind my business instead of other people's other people's stuff, but there is some credence, whether people want to acknowledge it or not, to the black community and the system of white supremacy racism that we living in,
Mm,
wanting to
take it there.
turn black men into women, or feminize them. And you could look at many different great scholars' works. The person that comes off my head is Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, who's predicting a lot of the effemination of the black man, a very long time ago. So if you don't understand her work or haven't heard this sister speak, she's
Yeah.
good.
Is that shorty that said, we'll sag our pants lower and lower until we step out of them, and then we'll step into a dress?
That's her.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
That's
that's what I
Dr.
thought it was.
Welsing.
Nah, and that's
So that
like I said, that Hidden Colors docu series, man. Check it out. Like, they
no, it was
dropping
cool.
gems on you. And
It was
granted, I'm
cool.
not telling y'all people to watch stuff like that to influence you, but to open, so you can hear
But
other thoughts on these
here's my
things.
here's my thing.
Okay.
I'm always going to give people the benefit of the doubt. And so this family, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you brought this child in. You love them like they're your own, and I'll take your word for it. Maybe he saw the sparkles and that color of ice blue and wanted to put that on, and your motives behind it were to simply make your child happy. I'll give you that benefit of the
You
doubt.
giving her that grace?
I'll give you that grace, because that's
Okay.
what we do here on the ADP. But on the flip side of that, I'm not oblivious or unaware to those who might be doing things of this nature with malicious intent. And so
Exactly.
you gotta be able to assess every situation independently. And we don't know these people, and so we're using them as a vehicle for discussion. So that's why I have to give you both sides of it. And so because I don't know these people, I'll give you exactly what you said. Maybe he did. Maybe he chose that costume, and you're just trying to be a good parent and give your child what they want.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
Very possible.
a true
But it's also
story.
possible the other way. That's not how that happened. They
And
tricked her as a
so
girl.
we all
And
need to have the awareness, as we talk about often on this podcast, the awareness to understand, like, the world is not some black and white situation. It's a lot of areas of gray. And the system we currently are all subject to, you have to be aware and be able to look at things objectively.
yeah, no, that's a fact. And the crazy part is in the conversation with this community in particular, and like I said, I don't want to deny rights to anyone.
Never.
If you want to get married, if you want to, you feel like you were born of the wrong gender or sex, whatever that, I promise you, I support your decision when you're of age. But when we do these things and allow certain things, it opens up such a can of worms for so many things. And is that a can of worms you want to open? So, yeah, no.
I sent you the
As far as the child
video of
goes,
the lady. The lady had a baby, and she was like holding her baby and like dancing with her baby, and she was like, "Oh, please be gay. I want my baby to be gay. Please, my
yeah,
baby
we
be gay."
seen that, and
Yeah.
that's
In the
like I
same
said,
vein.
and it goes, but it still goes to where what I said, and people can do what they want with their children.
Okay.
It was her child, and that's what she wished for her child. That's none of my fucking business.
I would say it's none of the public and society's business until you start to force two things. If you try to force that on other people in the society that don't want it. Number two, if you abuse that child in any way, shape, or form. There's nothing
if the
wrong with
child's being
hope,
abused,
right?
that's my
Like,
only issue.
if me and my gay partner are gay, and then we adopt or have a surrogate, and then we want our child to be of our same cloth and of our same community, I can't necessarily be terribly mad at that for you hoping and wishing. But the reality is, do not do things to hurt or influence that child negatively to get the outcome that you want. That would be my problem.
Because then it goes against the argument that's made that, oh well, you were born this way. You were born like in gay, straight,
There
or
are many
otherwise.
arguments.
Because
There are
that's the
many
big
arguments
argument
out
within
there,
it.
but again, I just thought it was an interesting piece, and it had circled the internet a couple weeks ago. We didn't get to touch on it on Halloween week, but this kid in this Elsa costume has made its rounds, and so I did want to get your thoughts.
And honestly, the kid might grow up to be as straight as an arrow. I don't know, and I don't honestly. I don't care his sexual preference as he gets older. It doesn't sway me either way.
No, not at all.
But yeah, no,
But let him choose.
my child is not going.
Let him choose. Let him grow up.
I mean, maybe he did choose the way to dress.
Maybe he did. I don't know. I mean, I think Elsa's dope, bro.
Yeah,
I
let
mean,
it go. Let
yeah,
it
let it go. Come on,
go.
she could shoot fire. I mean, ice out her hands. Like, come on, that's it's nothing cooler than
Yeah,
that.
shout out. I think there's a deeper thing in that. I'm gonna watch it later and
Shout
see.
out to Elsa.
Um, yeah, shout out to Elsa.
What else
What else we got,
she
bro?
got?
Like, I mean that I didn't. Yeah, we can talk about talking
No,
about that.
I mean, I
That
was
threw
just
me.
scrolling, just
No, I
thinking
like
about the
it. I
things I
like
could
it. I
do.
like it.
Yeah,
No, it's good money. Good money. What else we got? The election. It's election season. It's election.
yeah.
Election season. What's good? What's the vibe? Did you vote? Was you outside? Was you on the line with your signs? What's good?
I mean, I wasn't on nobody's line. I casted a vote here or there for some local people. I mean, I'm new to this area, so this was like local elections. So I casted, I
Facts, facts.
casted, I casted a few ballots that I thought, people that I, feel like could do a good job and really, have the best interests of the society in mind. But we're gonna see, right? I mean, I think you're seeing your same influx of celebs, during election time who have chosen to, try to tell you to vote and encourage you to do that, and so,
Wait a minute.
my same sentiments exist is, do your research and do what you think is right for you. So the overarching point is don't do things just because your favorite actor told you to, or your favorite rapper told you to, right? Think it through.
I'm gonna circle back to something because I just had a
Talk
thought.
about it.
And I don't know where it came from because we was talking about the Elsa costume. What if it was that I wanted my child to grow up to be a menace to society? Like, drug dealer, like yo, I
That's
sell drugs, I
good.
want my kid to do it.
That's
Am
good.
I giving that same grace or expected to receive that
Ooh.
same grace?
People are going to say that the life of criminality is exactly that, criminality, and homosexuality or any
And I
spectrum of
get it, but we're
sexuality is
saying,
not criminal.
like I was just acting like I'm still a parent and that's what I want my
Well,
child to go
that's
into
what
or
that's what we're
whatever.
talking about when you say you just
Um,
mind your business. I mean, to a certain extent, as a society, as a community, as a global society, we can't just mind our business, which is
yeah, that's
why
a fact.
you hear people speaking up about the conflict with in Gaza, with Israel. Like you can't. There's certain things that us as a
No, there's some things
society,
that need to be spoken on.
yeah,
As
on a
far
grand
as
scale.
what, like with my child, like mind your business. When it comes to me raising my child, like I said, as long as there's no abuse
So
or
okay, but that's a
mistreatment.
very important caveat. The fact that no one is being abused and you're not going to create a menace, as you just said, to our
Yeah.
society. So as long
So
as
I was
those
just
two,
asking.
no one's being abused and you're not creating some menace that's
Well,
going to go out.
we didn't. No, we said as long as no one being abused. We didn't say creating a
Okay,
menace.
so cool. Yeah,
I may be
I
creating a
would say
menace by
that
not
that
abusing
falls
my
under that
child.
though. That falls under that though. To not If you create somebody that is resentful from the way you raise them, and now they're going to go out and project that hurt and that pain that you gave them as a child onto the rest of the
I might
society.
be just teaching them how to make money, how to make money, against all odds. But it was a comment. The
Okay.
submarine costumes were crazy. While I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
see them,
I did. I seen one too, man.
um, I know, I receive so
No,
much, but
that was too
I
much.
don't feel too like it's always sad the loss of life.
Yeah, I'm about to say that was too soon. Too soon.
I don't be feeling. I'm not
I mean, I'm
okay.
not broken
I'm
up about it because, like I said, I think people have a dark sense of humor. Some people's
yeah.
sense of humor is not for everybody,
This
but
is a fact. People
at
dressed up
this,
in blackface at one
at
point, so
shit, that happened this year. I'm sure I could have, if I Google
yeah,
it right now, you could find
yeah,
blackface
facts.
costumes
So
this year. But the point is,
people thought
to
it was
dress up as
funny
a
to dress up as
submarine,
slaves and stuff
yeah,
like
but to
that.
dress
So
up
I
as a
I
submarine, you
can't feel
gotta.
bad for people who dressed up as a submarine.
Nah, I could
I
feel
got
bad.
other
I feel bad about it.
costumes that I'm fighting right
I feel
now.
bad
I'm pretty sure
about it.
at some parties, some two college kids came dressed as KKK members. That's not my okay. All right, I mean, if
I
you
feel
feel bad,
bad.
you feel bad. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
I
I
feel
don't.
bad because, like you said, I think we're starting to normalize the loss of life. Like it's just people die.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
and
that's a
that's true.
fact.
People do die, but if we could prevent it, and I think everyone would agree that the submarine situation those deaths that didn't have to happen.
They didn't have to have them, but they chose to. Okay. We was talking about the election.
We were.
We were talking about the election.
You got one that you were got your eye on in particular, or what's the
I mean,
deal?
I'm here in Mississippi. We a red state. So the guy who we wanted out of office, he won. Tater Tot.
Gotta love it.
And once again, it's not for me. It's not a Republican, Democrat, black, white thing. when it comes to him in particular. He's just not he's not good for the state of Mississippi, no matter what your race, color, gender,
That's
creed,
cap.
religion is.
That's cap. That's the same Donald Trump conversation. Someone thinks, right? Because he wanted. Someone thinks he's good for the state of Mississippi. Someone thinks that.
Yeah, so, but I think we get so caught up in the two-party system that we don't research to see, all right, well, you know, what's good for me and people like me? Is he good for me and people like me? And once again, Mississippi is one of the poorest states in the country, if not the poorest, right?
One of
And
them, yeah.
I'm going to say it's probably the poorest. If not, we have some of the poorest counties for sure.
Y'all do.
And some of the things that he's against is just like, it makes no sense. Like expanding Medicaid, Medicare, bro. That just doesn't make any sense. Like,
sense to somebody.
No, because a lot of these people they get this government assistance.
So what are they voting for him for?
Huh?
So what are they voting for him for?
Because he's a white Republican. A lot of these poorer Caucasian people in these rural areas don't benefit from his policies.
I mean, yeah.
Because
you got politicians stemming back to the 60s saying that if I can get the poorest white man to believe that his skin color makes him like
what's happening. That hasn't changed.
I mean, yeah. To a certain extent.
But not only that, crazy. Well, during our election and at our polling places in Hinds County, and which is Jackson's in Hinds County, they kept running out of ballots.
Oh.
Yeah, like they kept running out of ballots, and then
we ran out of ballots
at the polling places, and even when they re-upped, they were re-upping with like less than 100 at a time. Apparently, like one polling place ran out of ballots like at 11 a.m.
Imagine that.
That's a little suspicious, don't you think?
I don't listen. Who am I? I'm not the conspiracy guy, so I'm not gonna.
It's not a conspiracy.
Think so? It couldn't be a conspiracy.
No, that's a fact that happened. That they were running out of ballots.
Okay, listen. This is America. This is America, and every one of them mama, all they do is tell us to vote. No one's interested in fixing any of these problems that time and time again in multiple elections just seem to keep coming up. I don't know. It's just crazy.
Excuse me, my bad. Yeah, my bad. I yawned.
They just seem to keep coming up.
That was a little suspicious that they ran out of ballots in Hinds County.
What Dr. Umar said? You don't think that's suspicious? You don't think that's suspicious?
And what's crazy about it is, all right, I think they said something like it's like 160,000 registered voters in Jackson, or not Hinds County.
Mm-hmm.
So at the bare minimum, right?
Sure.
You need 160,000 ballot sheets, right? No, am I wrong?
No, you probably wouldn't because everyone's not going to vote, right?
But at the bare minimum, we gotta look at it as okay. Everyone may vote.
Okay.
Because they're registered too, not citizens. Because I'm sure there's more than 160,000 citizens in this county, but that's registered to vote.
So you're saying that they should have known the number beforehand because people registered to vote?
Yes.
Get out of here. Get out of town.
Yeah, so get
out of town.
I got, like rest of the soul, my pastor used to say, I got a funny feeling and a sneaky suspicion.
Okay.
So I just found that interesting.
Shout out to the past.
Like I said, I went out and voted. I stood in line for a decent amount of time. Let me tell you something, people.
You got a sticker?
Yeah.
Did you post your sticker?
No, my sticker's in my truck. Let me tell you something, people.
You got to post it. Come on now. You gotta get that pat on the ring.
No, I don't. Because I'm a vote. I vote. I don't need a sticker for it. That's a civic duty.
Post that, baby.
But let me tell you people something. And it's not just voting. This is just comment. I'm gonna save it for my wrap up. Let me write it down. Where my pen is?
All right. Well, I do got another chance. We're talking about voting in the election. Shout out to NYC, man. They got exonerated Central Park 5 member Yusuf Salam, and I hope I'm saying that name right. He won a city council seat, so it's
a city council seat. So maybe he'll be in there. Maybe he'll be in there. He can make some changes from the inside.
I am going to hope that brother's on code and of our community, because that would be huge if we could just.
If nobody else, I would hope a brother like that is on code.
Yeah, because he's seen the ugliest side of the system and how it can fail and how propaganda can work, and he's seen it from more angles than I'm not gonna say all of us, because there's plenty of people. We see people get exonerated that
Mm-hmm.
have been in prison for decades. Every other week it seems like, oh, this person DNA has exonerated them, or this person came forward and committed to the crime, but this person's been in jail for 25 years. So this is not new to our community. But shout out to that brother, and I hope you don't. I hope a problem that we have with the politicians that are cut from our cloth and that come from what we would assume is grassroots is you get up there and then you forget.
Right.
Get to that point, you
What
get
makes
that
people
seat.
forget?
That's a brilliant question. I think it's a lot of things. I mean, the number one culprit's got to be the money, right? Right. The number one culprit's got to be the fact that they pay you handsomely,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very easy to sit up in a home maybe you never thought you could have, drive a car that you never thought you could have, put your kids in schools that you never thought they could be put in, and then it becomes very easy to be like, well, I made it, they could too, and
By
that
your
becomes the
bootstraps.
yeah, that becomes the energy. It's like, well, I'm here, and y'all still down there. That's y'all fault. Why y'all still down there? These
That's a
these is
fact.
good. These is good folks here in this city council hall with me in this office. We sit here. We talk about great subjects.
Nah, that's
It's nothing.
a
This is
fact.
y'all fault. So I'm hoping that the individuals across the country that happen to be of this hue, I'm hoping that you do not come into office or into this position of power and act like you forgot
What's going
what it
on with my
was
camera here?
what it was like to be on the other side. I don't know. It's a little blurry. My man. Okay, you good? There you go.
There I go live in 4K. Okay.
There go Devon. Go
Chill out.
ahead,
Don't
brother.
do
Go
that.
ahead.
Don't
Go
do that.
ahead,
Come on.
brother.
You gotta chill, bro. You
Go ahead,
gotta
brother.
chill with the
Go,
shits.
go ahead, brother. You got
Man,
election.
listen.
Any other elections? Daniel Cameron out in there, and I believe it's Kentucky, took that L.
Okay.
Winners. Legends never die, dude. You're never gonna win that seat. You're never gonna be the governor of anything because you let that sister's death go unpunished, and
Yeah, fuck
it was
that
still,
guy.
justice for Breonna Taylor and Mr. Cameron. You're one of those people who we're talking about, man. It really feels like you've gotten into a position of
You seen
power, and
the
then you've kind of just forgotten about the rest of us out here.
no, that's a fact. You seen the clip and it's always going around and I don't even know where it was from. Did Eric Mays win? Was he running?
Eric Mays, from where?
Michigan, I want to say.
I think he did. I think he got that dub.
Yeah, that dude, he's just funny. I don't know what he stands for or anything like that, but he's funny. But did you seen the clip of the brother? The brother who's in like you can tell he's at some type of town hall meeting or something like that, and he was like, "Long as I don't curse at you or threaten you, I can say what I want, right? Or yeah, threaten you
Oh
or
yeah,
call
he's
you
from
any
Flint.
names."
Yeah, from Flint. I don't know if he won though.
Yeah, Eric
But go ahead.
Mays. When you
Go
get a
ahead.
chance, look at his like Eric Mays like
No,
Instagram
I've
page.
seen
The
I've
dude
seen
is
him turning
never.
up. I've seen him turning up.
Yeah,
I've
he
seen him
gives it
turning
up
up.
crazy.
Yeah,
But
he
nah,
gives
the
it up
dude
crazy.
he's in
I've
the
seen him
thing,
turn up.
and he told him like he was like, as long as I don't threaten you or call you out your name, I can say what I want, right? That's the rules, right? And look around everybody like, yeah. And he stopped and goes, "We sick of his ass." Like he snapped.
Nah, he's quite the character,
No,
but
Eric Mays didn't
again,
do that. That was just somebody else.
but I think all the politicians, and like I said, it's not about sometimes your ability to be a politician, because I don't know the qualifications for that. I don't really think anyone does.
Hmm.
But I think to be efficient at that job, we have to start picking people that come from a certain that are cut from a certain cloth. You
Right.
can't pick people that are coming from these places, because when you have to look at the other side time and time again, we see that they just have a tough time doing it.
Yeah.
They have a tough time understanding struggle, poverty, student loan. These are issues, hot button issues, that a lot of these people are like, it's not my problem. My mom paid, my parents paid for my education. What are you talking about, your student loans?
Yeah.
Healthcare, like, come on. I've got the best healthcare since I was a child. We've never had an issue, right? So it becomes, we have to start treating and looking and adjusting the way we treat and evaluate our politicians. That's just the facts if we want to make our society more equitable.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So speaking of that statement you made with you said oh, student loans. My parents pay my student loans. Da, 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 da. Does it take two in a household to live a decent life these days? Can someone do it by themselves, hold down the fort, or something like that.
Yeah, so we're getting into the economy, and I think this question's been going around. We've seen a lot of men and women, voice their concerns about if I have your child, you need to pay for everything, or the concept of 50-50. We've seen Gabrielle and Dwayne come out and talk about their finances.
Yeah.
So we've been seeing this concept of the economy and what does it take for us to be successful in this current economy. And I would say that there is some credence to it needing to take two, but the overarching point that I feel like I haven't seen in clips and reels and TikToks is why does it all of a sudden take two? I sent you a clip from 1950 where
Yeah.
there were houses and things, and what were they, 13, 14,
Not that
$15,000,
high.
right?
I don't think they were
Not
that high.
they weren't even that high. And
Like
so
8,000.
the economy has continued to inflate and adjust and inflate and adjust.
And
And
hey,
again,
hasn't.
our leaders have chosen to continue to keep us stagnant. And so the response to that has been people are saying, yo, you can't survive possibly without a two-person income. It's
That's
not
a fact.
possible for us to play gender role anymore because one income just won't do in the average economy. The average earner can't do it by themselves anymore. Unless you're going to
That's a
live in a
fact.
one-bedroom studio for the rest of your life,
And even then, it's still gonna be tough depending on where you are.
where you work.
Yeah, I would love for my lady to be able to stay home while I go to work, and she do whatever, and
I
she
think
don't have to.
people of our cloth would. I think I,
But it's
of
right,
course.
especially right now. It's not realistic. It's not a realistic. It's not a realistic expectation, and it it definitely takes two, and then especially if you want to throw kids in the mix, which that's normal. Um, yeah, so it's not a it. It can happen.
The
It's not
conversation
going to be
goes from you throw kids in the mix to kids out of wedlock. That's the other piece of the conversation.
yeah, kids out of wedlock. So what do you I seen an interesting post, and I actually commented on it and just said it'd be interesting to talk on a podcast. But what do you think about that? Kids out of wedlock. Do you think? I mean, aside from the
I'm about to say I
obvious,
have a kid out of
yeah. But
wedlock, so
what do you like? I think the post said something. I don't have the post anymore because it's one of those things in the stories. But it said something along the lines: if he's not gonna marry you or something like that, then don't have his child and this, that, and the third.
I would agree, and I'll tell you this: me and my
You said
son had
you
a very,
agree?
I would agree.
Okay.
I would say me and my son had a very great conversation the other night when I was taking
Shout out
him.
to Baby
Um,
Boy Branch.
yeah, we were going somewhere, and we were just something that I've learned, and maybe this is a parenting tip. I'm gonna give you an ADP. I have the best conversations with my son when he's sitting in the back seat, just sitting there. He asks me the most insightful conversations, the insightful questions. Like he's very
You just be
intuitive.
thinking.
Yeah, in the back seat, I don't know what it is, but he's very insightful. And so he asked me, rather, I was telling him, like, listen, no, you want your person, you want to marry, you want a woman to marry before she carries. And so, especially in this economy, you're going to need two people working together to survive economically. And so, but besides the financial piece that you're going to absolutely need to survive in the current economy that we're in, you're
Mm-hmm.
going to need that to just have peace in your life. Right. And so, my son,
Okay.
he asked me a very real question, and I have no problem sharing it with the ADP family. He said, Dad, why didn't you do that?
Mm.
And you know
Preach,
what?
Drew.
I said, Drew, because Dad made a mistake. And so, a
Mm.
lot of parents, a lot of times, we can't be wrong, right? We're not fallible in our kids' eyes, and we don't want to be wrong. I don't have a problem telling my son, I effed that up. Dad screwed the pooch on that one.
Yeah.
But what I can help you is to give you the game and to have you not do the same thing. So
Mm-hmm.
could you go out and have a kid out of wedlock because things happen in the world? Sure, you could. I will tell you, as a person who's supposed to be giving you the game and supposed to be raising you, that is not a beneficial situation if you can prevent it. If
Right.
you can cognitively put the energy towards saying, I'm going to find my wife before I find the mother of my child, that will make your life easier. I know that because based off my experience and some of the people's experiences around me.
Mm-hmm.
And so little things like that and having that conversation is big.
My issue becomes this right here. You can't put a blanket statement over that
Okay.
because what if I don't believe in marriage?
You going gray on me. Go ahead, go gray on
I'm
me.
not going gray. It's not a gray
Yeah,
area.
We're
It's just
going
you
gray.
can't put a blanket statement over that. Like
Yes, you can.
ideally, of course, you want to be married, have a nice house, 2-car garage, and a white
Come
picket
on,
fence with a fucking pool.
baby. Don't forget the dog.
But I said the
Okay.
poodle. You heard the
Okay,
poodle.
cool. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But that's not everybody's lifestyle. That's not everybody's goal. So maybe I don't want to be married, but I want to leave my legacy. So I
Do you
want
think
to
it's a
have a
good idea to
child.
have children? We just spent 20 minutes talking about the economy and how rigorous it has become for single
If
people. Do
I'm
you think
able
it's
to provide for my
thank that
child,
that's a key. And how many people can do
that's
that? Not many.
why I said it can't be a blanket statement.
It can
Um,
because the
I think
majority.
I can provide for, and not saying,
Go ahead.
listen, I want y'all to be
Tell us
clear on
lie.
this
You
when I
about to
say
lie?
this.
I'm about to say go ahead and
When
lie.
I want y'all to be clear when I say this
Hmm.
because marriage is in my plans. Plan on marrying my queen, and
Staple of
we're gonna live.
human life.
Yeah,
Staple of
we're
human
gonna.
life.
But for me and my child, to a certain extent, yes, I can afford to have just me and my child.
You think so?
Will there be struggles at
Okay.
times? Possibly, maybe, I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay.
But ultimately, yes, it takes two, or ideally,
I'm about to say, no,
it should
hold
be
on,
two.
because I need you to be honest. We both grew up. I grew up with my grandparents. There were
Yeah,
two of them. You grew up with your mother and father.
right.
There were two of them.
But
Did we,
we
at
were different in
multiple
the
points? No,
we.
answer my
Wait,
question.
no, wait. Let's make it
Go
clear.
ahead.
We were in a different
You're
economic
right.
place than we are now.
It's
Yeah,
worse now. You're
yeah,
right. It's
agree.
worse now. So in those times when I had my grandparents. Did I see struggle? Of course. Yo, bro. Sometimes it was a little crazy on the Belgrave. Those
Talking
sausages and
about bread.
mayonnaise
I
sandwiches
had
and
one last night, bro, and this shit
bro.
slapped.
Come on.
Turkey sausage.
And
I
I
don't got
mean,
no
you
more.
seen it with Norsey, right? Having a Ray was doing well, but Norsey might have still needed to every once in a while get up on the bus and do the monitor thing and get the little
Yeah,
right.
make
There
sure I'm
were
on the bus.
times in your growing up where you had two parents, and economically they still had to, hey, as they so distinctly put it back in the day, rob Peter to pay Paul.
Rob
And so
Peter to pay Paul.
we're talking about an economy 15 years ago that was more conducive to the average person. Now, fast forward 10, 15 years, it's worse. And now you have more people talking about, oh, I could do it by myself.
But that's why I said
Bullshit.
you can't.
You better
I don't
think
want a blanket
twice.
statement
You
on
better
the.
think twice.
Oh, make sure because like I said, what if someone can provide for a child by themselves?
Okay,
And
bro, but
like I said,
I just
ideally, I know we don't talk to the exception, but
thank you. Thank
I think
you.
there are, but you still can't make a blanket statement over everybody. So to sit there and say, oh well, nah, like don't give him the buns because he don't want to
Okay,
marry
when
you, and
Jay-Z,
that's fine if that's a personal preference, but don't expect that standard for everyone.
oh, stop, bro. We have to start putting some sort of expectation on this because you're talking to the exception, not the majority. You're not
Like, all
talking
right,
to the
so
majority.
when I commented on it, and the response to it was, people should not be procreating with people who don't desire marriage. Children need stability. Two-parent households are the standard. We have glorified having children out of wedlock, and it's disgusting how many children have to be raised by
100.
a single parent
100.
because of the adults choose to lust over
That's real.
life.
That's real.
I agree with that statement.
That's what I
I,
just said.
it
I'm
is what you
just
said.
saying
I agree with that
sometimes. I
statement,
just said,
but my pushback is for us to have a two-parent household, we don't necessarily have to be married.
uh, in my situation, you're right. I would say my son is. I am doing the closest thing to that without literally being in a two-parent household.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, so
But that's not the norm
I
though.
want
Because
to
let's
say,
be honest. When I
to make
chose
me feel better. Well, no,
no,
wait, to
when
make
I
me feel
chose to
better.
do what I was gonna do, right? People were like, "You bugging? Like, what you bugging?" Like
I
a lot
mean,
of my friends,
I'm not even
people I
talking to you.
trust and I love, told me like, "Bro, no, you're not gonna give up. What? No, that's not the priority. Once the relationship is broken up, we as a society have really taken this thought like my life is still my life is going back to being my own. My pushback is it's not. You still have a responsibility to those children.
To you.
You play too goddamn much. You
I
play
do.
too.
I play all day. But no. So So for me to feel better, I think in that statement or in that post, the word marriage should be exchanged for commitment. Because, like I said, not everybody believes in saying "I do." Like
Seems
we're
like
married.
okay.
I'm married
Seems
to
like
you, and so.
semantics to me, but go ahead.
No, I'm just saying because then they're gonna focus on that. Like what? Like if me and my lady were to have a child now, like we're committed to
Yeah,
each
but
other.
we
We're
don't
not married.
even have that.
But we're
What you're
saying out
describing
of
right now.
wedlock. I think out of wedlock is more so the religious aspect of it. because
Fat boy, we
even with
don't even have that. We don't even have commitment. We don't even have that. People, once that relationship is over, where are the people that are
but
like,
what's to stop people from having a child with someone that are they are married
it
and
should
then
be
separating?
it should be contraceptives.
No, I'm
It
saying
should,
they are
it
married.
should,
Let's say they are married,
okay, let's
and
say
then
they
they
are married.
separate. Then what?
Okay.
So now that
Now
changes that
we're talking
statement
about what you're
because
talking about. Then at
because
that point, we're talking about what you're
because
talking about.
listen. Because they well yeah no we didn't have a kid until we were married. Like we got to that goal. Like yes, he wanted to marry me. We married.
Mm-hmm.
We got married. She wanted to marry me.
Sure.
But now we're separated. There's plenty of people who grew up in single parent homes whose parents were married.
Sure. Mine was one of them.
Their parents were married. So that's what I'm saying. We can't put it's a certain commitment to each other, and then within that commitment, now we got a commitment to this child, and we're going to make sure this child is brought up with love.
I'm
Ain't
saying we
got
don't
nothing to
have
do
it
with our
though.
personal feelings
I'm
toward
saying
each
we
other.
don't even have it. I'm saying we're not even effing
Children
close.
are being yeah exactly. A lot of children aren't being raised in love because our feelings toward the
Because you
other is
hate your
so crazy.
partner. And
Yeah,
I'm
but
not,
it's not about
and
that.
I'm telling you that is the misconception because we are living right now in the most vain, selfish era of our society in the last 100 years because everyone can see now. And so you don't want people to know that, oh man, I messed up this relationship or I played a part in messing up this relationship. And now I gotta now not only do I have to possibly raise a kid with this person for the next 18 years, I gotta see them possibly go be happy. Absolutely not. Without me, hell no. And you put your own ego, you
Yeah,
put your own feelings in the situation when, again, once you have children,
not
you're
about
not
you
the
no more.
priority anymore.
And that's where I agree with you at. Once how I feel doesn't matter to an extent
It doesn't.
because we differentiate, or we're different in a certain part of that because in order to do the best for your child, certain parts of you have to be okay. Like you
That's a
have to be
cop
okay
out.
to a certain extent to do the best for your
Cop
child.
out.
If you're not whole or close to whole, you're not giving your child everything they deserve
Yeah,
from you.
but that's an
You're
easy
giving them a shell of a person.
yeah, but that's what
No.
I'm saying.
Let me finish.
Good.
You're giving them a shell of a person because you're not whole.
I, I'm gonna vehemently push back on this because my father did this, man. When we moved to Pennsylvania, my pops didn't come with us. Remember, he was around.
Yeah,
And we went to Pennsylvania and it was hell, right? It
yeah.
was a bad situation for me and my family. My pops never once was like, oh, I can't move to Pennsylvania or I can't come see y'all on a consistent basis because I'm not whole. That was his excuse. His excuse was my life is here. What do I look like giving up my life to go sacrifice and go help you and raise y'all when your mother
I'm
is
not.
choosing this to do something else?
So now here's the
Go
question:
ahead.
does that fall on the other half too?
Of
On the
course.
mother who wanted to move away?
Of course it does. But I mean, in manhood, and I mean, we can get into manhood a little bit. As a man, there's certain things you got to stand on. When you're a person of character, you're a person of integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can't go look at the other person because if you are looking to the other person to do something to validate and stamp what you're doing, you don't have character and you don't have integrity. Right? Integrity is doing the right thing when no one is looking.
Right.
Right? And so if you are saying like if she's saying fuck the kids and I'm saying fuck the kids, then no,
Who's caring about the kids?
that's not an
I'm just,
integral stance.
and granted, some things I won't know until I'm in the situation,
Something.
or won't be able to make a call on it until I'm in the situation. So I admit that, but I just feel so in that circumstance,
Yeah, you can use
you know,
mine, and tonight we can use mine.
no. I'm going to speak hypothetical.
Go
And
ahead.
we're not going to use yours. We're not going to use yours.
Okay, go ahead.
Me and my lady have a child together,
Mm-hmm.
and you know we don't work out for whatever reason.
Sure.
I'm doing well. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing well enough to, you know, I'm providing for me and my
Mm-hmm.
child, and even helping you out a little here
Sure.
and there. And you decide, oh, I want to move here.
Mm-hmm.
But now I have to stop. I have to stop working where I'm working. That's helping me
Mm.
provide. Because I
Mm.
have to stop my good job, my good benefits that my child is
Go
under,
ahead.
because
Talk
you
about
want
it.
to move somewhere
Talk
else.
about it.
Does that make sense? And that's selfish on the other person who wants to move. And let's say I may let you move, but my
Mm-hmm.
child's staying because I'm able to
Okay.
provide for my family here.
Okay. So what I'm gonna say, and I think we'll wrap it up after this, but my last word on it is, if that's your stance, I would say you better start to think about that proactively before
Mm-hmm.
you before you go and shoot up the club. If that's your stance, then fine, because you didn't have to lay down, did you?
No.
You didn't have to.
No, that's a fact. I mean, that's a conversation.
Okay.
Granted, like I said, me
Okay,
and my queen, we have a lot of conversations.
All right.
And
Well,
we throw
that's
out
the thing, because don't after the fact talk about, well, no, this is
we have a
better
lot
for
of
me.
conversations. We have realistic conversations like, oh, what if this doesn't, and da da da, and that's fine. But I'm just saying we got to be.
You better not.
In raising a child, we have to do what's best for the child.
Period.
So if I have a stable job with a good income, and I'm able to provide by staying at this job here, which is in Mississippi, wherever, and you say, oh, I want to move to Georgia, it doesn't make sense for me to move to Georgia.
I'm gonna tell you this.
This job is allowing me to care for my child.
I'm gonna tell you this, that in those
I'll
situations,
I'll be in Georgia struggling and barely making it meet, and now
listen
I
to me. Listen
do
to me.
things. What's
fine,
up?
fine.
I'm listening to
if
you,
that's your
brother.
if that's your point, fine. Then at that point, two adults again, those conversations that you had need to bear fruit. They need to come to fruition. Y'all need to be able to, as two adults, sit down at the table and say, what's the middle point between this and this? What could you swing to make sure that me and you are both in our child's life? That's where adulting comes into place. And again, in this society, ain't enough adults. We don't have enough people willing to come and sit to the table and be like, I'm going to be a little uncomfortable. You're going to be a little uncomfortable, but we're both going to be there for him or her. No, and we don't have that either.
No, that's a for sure fact. And then to my response to that post is it's not necessarily about wedlock and be wedded and stuff like that. It's more so about being an adult and being committed to something more than just yourself and your desires and your wants and needs.
I'm not trying to take that away, because I do feel like the matrimony part and the love and the butterflies and hearts, I think that stuff.
But that's for you. Like I said, everybody's not the same.
No, and I'm not knocking that, but I'm saying
there's plenty of couples who raise children who's never been married, but because that's just they don't believe in marriage.
That's fine, and I, like you said, everyone's different. There's no broad brush, but we could speak to the majority.
Yeah,
because the divorce rate is crazy. The single household, that number is raising every year, right? So these things are not.
What number is inflated? And from what my knowledge, it's not true. The black dads are not around.
Oh, that's definitely not true. That's a big
that's
ass
not real, because
lie.
every black dad I know is in their child. Well, most. There's one or two but I don't associate with those people anymore.
Well, no, you're right.
Yeah, so
I would say
most
that's
black dads I know, they're in their children's life. So
I would say that's correct. That's a myth, and we should dispel that. Black dads are present, and to be honest, they always have been for the majority. If we're speaking to the majority, black dads have always been present. Now, if you got a black dad that hasn't been present, sure. But I mean, that goes to the gray area of, we went through crack epidemics, 3-strike laws. There were things in place to take fathers out of household. Section 8, when it first came out, wouldn't allow you to have a man in the household if you wanted to receive that benefit. So there were things that were put in place to tear the family down. We can get into that at a later date. But none of those things need to change who you are, your character. If you have character and you're dedicated to raising a child that you brought into this world, there's no excuse.
Word. So
wrap it up.
I'm gonna wrap this up, my guy.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
I'm going to say in regards to the conversation about the economy and two parents, we need to begin to make smarter decisions about who we are having children with. Right? The how you feel in your pants or how you feel when you look at them, those things are nice. And I'm not saying you can't have that, but you need to start to get a hold on who are the people, who is this person that I'm dealing with at a molecular level. Who is this person at a molecular level? Who am I dealing with? Am I dealing with a person that is unwilling to compromise, unwilling to work with me? Who am I dealing with? Before you have a child with anyone at this point, you need to understand who they are at a cellular, molecular level. And that's just how it has to go. There is no more excuses for she did this or he did that and he didn't love me or he cheated. None of that shit negates your responsibility to the child you brought in this world. Period.
I like it. liking it. I'm gonna piggyback on that with my wrap up. And even with that, let's say you and this person don't work on whatever level. Remember, it is no longer about you. It is no longer about you. We're talking about this child. We're gonna make sure we try to, raise this child the best we can to become a positive member of society. And granted, you can't control every single aspect of it, but sometimes, like my brother said, you're going to be a little uncomfortable, but you're doing it for the betterment of the child. My deepest wants are on hold for now. I'm not saying they're canceled, but they're on hold for now. Like what I want. I might have to wait to buy the new shoes because my
Be
child
clear, it's
needs
only
shoes.
18 years. Be clear, it's only 18
I
years.
mean,
A
that's a
lot of
long
y'all think
time,
it's a
bro,
death
but
sentence. It's only 18 years.
no, it's not. It's a lifetime. A child is a lifetime.
Yeah, but an adult child is much, right? You can agree
Yeah,
with that. That an adult
yeah.
dealing with a
Adult child.
child and then
Adult
dealing with
child
a
is
high
different, bro.
schooler, right? Like I got a high schooler. It's like, yeah, I might have to buy some clothes and some sneakers. But once my child is ready to branch out, how much do you really have to deal with that other person?
No, that's a fact. Once they're an adult, but still with that, remember, what's in the best interest of the child. So, while I don't agree with a post that says, "Oh well, make sure he wants to marry you," I do agree. I will say, make sure we're committed to whatever comes of this. We will handle together. We don't have to be in love with each other anymore. Like even in relationships, I've said this to my lady, like, yo, there's gonna be days we don't even like each other.
That's 100, man. It's a roller coaster.
But we know we're working and grinding and building something bigger than just us liking each other for every single moment. Rather, we're building something where we built on love.
Which I disagree with that, but that's maybe a topic for another day.
You always disagree with some shit, disagreeing ass.
I'm gonna be in love every day.
If I
Choose,
in love, I didn't say in love.
I'm gonna be in I'm gonna be in love. I'm gonna want my partner every day because I think
We've been best friends since second grade, and there's days I don't fucking like you.
that's true. But I still love you though.
I
Right?
always love you.
That's
That's what I'm saying. That's my
know the
point.
difference.
There's gonna be times. There's gonna be times where I don't like you right now, but I will always love you.
There you go. Know the difference. That was my point. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference. But I think that's it on my wrap up. Make sure y'all keep jumping on the DSPs. Make sure
check them
y'all
out.
hit us up with topics.
Check them out. Yo, if you in Brazil, I got an email from the Audible team. If you're in Brazil, Prosperity for All is now available for you.
Oh,
all right, so all the Brazil family,
all my Portuguese speaking people, yo, what's up?
Yeah, check out the Audible. The email came through at a real weird hour that the Audible team texted me and was like, "Listen, we got your Audible into a new market, and you have this amount of people that have listened."
Are we doing well in Brazil?
I mean, the book is cool, man. It's a good thing, man. Y'all keep running it up.
What's that? Prosperity for All? Yo, yeah. Yo, we doing well in Brazil? Good.
Listen, man,
make sure y'all cop the book. Mine is close by.
Got some people out there listening, man. We got some people out there pressing the play button. That's all I can say.
All right, cool. It's time around too. I think we should do you did the Audible without us, huh?
I did, but I got a script. I got some stuff I'm working on. So we need
to do it with the team because I wanted to be on there reading my part of the book.
We'll come up with a new concept. I think we wanted to get our first product out. To solidify ourselves, and it's out. But the team. We got the group chat, which that'll be a topic coming up soon. Group chats, because ours is busy.
Ours be all over the place. I really want to get the gang on. Yo, Shane, Mark, we waiting for y'all, bro.
Yeah, pull up, bros. Pull up for sure. But we got some projects in the work. We're gonna try to end this year very strong. We appreciate, we say this all the time, but we truly appreciate everyone for listening and even tapping in for a second, right? Because you don't have to, and in every listen and every person, every individual that gets to hear us, you're extremely valued, and we want you to know that.
That's a fact. But on that note, this podcast is all done.
Peace fam.